Hey guys, Matt, IronTrap Garage, and today we are working on the 39 Y block Forgotten Hot Rod project again. So last time we did an update on the car, we pulled the old tired, stuck Y block out of the car. She is sitting a little higher in the front end now that we got that big chunk of iron out of there. And now what I'd like to do is get the old interior pulled out of the car so we could really take a look at the floor pans and see exactly how bad they are, and get an idea of what our next steps are going to be for actually starting to repair some of the rust on this car. So we're going to show you guys the process along the way and show you what we find. All right, so for any of you guys that didn't catch the video where I kind of went through the whole car, you can see what we're working with here. The floor pans are toasty, very toasty. So we're going to go and try and get all this junk out of the car. It's just covered in old wood and just junk and dirt. We're gonna get this front seat out first, see what that's gonna take, and then we might work on getting that back seat out there. But we gotta get this front seat out and these old warped crappy door cards. I just want to get all this stuff out of it. When I'm starting a car like this that's been sitting a really long time, you just start pulling out and throwing away and cleaning up all the junk that's kind of unusable. And that just gives you at least a good starting point, so you're not working and laying in, piles of rust and dirt and rat poop and who knows what else. So we'll get that out. Probably finish ripping this old crappy headliner out as well and get all this stinkiness out of here. All right, so we got the floor all vacuumed out. We swept it up. Now we can sort of see what it's at, what it's like. It helps my brain to wrap around what we're doing when you get all that junk and dirt out. And we vacuumed up probably a 5-gallon pail of rust. And you can see right here is really bad. You can actually see the muffler that's hanging down, and then that's the other side of it right there, that little ring. Our seat mounts, we didn't take them out yet, but we're gonna save them. But what you can see is where the factory mounting locations for the body are up throughout. So we can, we'll find those, note those locations, and then we're putting our new pan in, we can use those. And the floor pan actually overlaps like right here. You can actually see kind of like a seam seal or whatever they use, tar down there where it overlaps. The panel just above here where the seat is actually seems pretty solid. So actually, while we talk about it, let's see if we can pull the seat out. Got it.
Oh, more boxes.
Oh, more shoe boxes. Yeah, great. All right, there's our passenger seat, or our rear seat coming out. And wow, the rear floor pan is like super solid. You can still see there's like original paint on the back floor area. That's pretty nice for once. So this car, just the way it's sat, the floor pan, that's really solid. Wow. But the, down here, as soon as you get up into the rear seat area, it's fine. So I'm pleasantly surprised for once. So we're gonna get that seat back out. I think work on getting all this cruddy door cards and headliner out next. Just keep moving on with getting everything stripped out of here so we can start with a kind of ground zero. But that's where we're at so far. What the hell is this? Black ink, maybe? Esquire scuff coat. Oh, it's for tire, or for your shoes. Esquire shoe dye.
Oh, shit.
You're trying to wrestle out of there.
Huh?
What are you trying to wrestle out of there?
The exhaust.
Oh, Jesus. Does it go all the way back, or?
Yeah. Trying to get the exhaust. It's hanging down now. I know it wants to come off of there. There.
Success. Got it. Flower power seat out. Less and less in the car every minute. You can see how bad the trunk floor is. Well, not horrible, I've seen worse, but we can see the floor there, see the rear there, but this seat pan area is actually pretty nice in here. So we probably can just either make or purchase a floor pan section, but now we'll get the trunk all vacuumed out and cleaned out, the last of the door cards off, and then we can kind of just go over everything, see where we're at. All right, so we got the whole inside of the car cleaned out. We got all the interior out, everything junky, ripped out. The seats are actually in pretty decent shape other than the fabric being kind of weathered. The seat springs and the padding is actually in really nice shape. So I haven't decided yet how far we're gonna take this car. We may just throw the seats back in as is, or we may try and find some covers for them and recover them to match the rest of the interior, since most of it was kind of junk. The inside of the car, the main takeaways here are, as expected, the trunk area back here is pretty rotten. That's gonna need to be done. The full floor pan, which we already have, Max, like as I mentioned in the other video, hooked us up with a full floor pan that goes from pretty much the rear seat footwell area all the way forward to the firewall. So we got a full floor pan for it. I think we are going to need the inner rocker area that comes off of the floor pans and wraps around down the side of the frame, because that area is completely rotten. I should have probably figured that, but I didn't get that. So we will have to get those as well. Otherwise, it's really the big thing is the floor pan. The seat pan area for the rear seat is really, really nice. The doors are actually really nice. They're not all rotted out in the bottoms, and we cleaned everything out. They were super solid. And overall, the car is actually, other than the floor pan, obviously, is really, really solid. And I want to kind of decide as we go with things what we're going to do with the car. I'm trying to keep this project under control, but we also don't want to rush through it and do it half-assed and have something that's going to be kind of rough in the end. So I think we are going to pull the body off of this thing. I've decided that. The floor pan's so rotten in it, and with the inner rockers needing to be done, it's going to be much easier to pull the body off. I also want to see what's going on underneath where the floor pans are all rotten. I want to see how bad the frame is, and we really should go over the whole frame and give the whole frame kind of a quick going through, and it'll be a lot easier if we separate the two of them. So I think one of the next steps we're going to do is probably brace up the body. So we're going to weld some cross bracing in the body and brace everything up. and then get ready to actually take the body panels off that we need to and pull the body off of the frame, and then we can work on laying that max floor pan on the frame and redoing all that stuff. But that's a couple steps away. So that's all I have for this one. I appreciate you guys following along as always. We do videos on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. If you haven't, definitely hit the subscribe button, because we're going to be doing more and more of these projects. We're taking a car that is forgotten or rusty or in pieces all the way back, put it on the road for not a lot of money. Thanks, guys. Catch you later.